Ghost Song, and today I will be reading to you from my RusAme Oneshots book. The Oneshots book is called RusAme Oneshots by RainbowStar_772. That's me. But this one shot does have smut, so, but it's skippable. So in the description, I will be leaving timestamps to skip the smut. Now, on to Cramped Closet. So, now that everyone's here, I want to play a game. Japan happily announced, bouncing in place. Russia let out an audible groan. He was in no way interested in whatever Japan had in mind for them to play. So help him if it was fuck, marry, kill, spin the bottle, or worse, truth or dare. Why am I friends with you? He asked, not questioning anyone in particular. 'Cause we've been around each other since diapers. Japan chirped, quite pleased. I was set up, I fucking swear. Russia groaned in response. What did I even do to deserve this? How about 7 minutes in heaven? We got a closet, and we could always play truth or dare between rounds. Canada suggested, humming boredly. I like the way you think, Maple Man. Japan purred, becoming quite excited. I didn't agree to this, America yelped, looking a little spooked, and very much unhappy with the possible decision that was about to be reached. Oh, you'll be fine, Japan assured, dragging out the word fine for an unnecessary long period of time. Anyway, how should we pick? How about names in a box? Ukraine suggested, deciding that this was definitely better than spin the bottle, especially with how scared America had looked when Japan had taken out an empty sake bottle the other day. Also considering how upset her brother would be if America got her on top of having to play such a stupid game. His words, not hers. Definitely. No more bottle spinning for Japan, Canada agreed, with a slight laugh. Last time she spun a bottle, it hit my brother, then lodged itself in a cement wall behind him. Hey, I'm not that bad, Japan pouted with a whine. You broke my nose, America protested, not liking the memory of that particular incident. But it wasn't a cement wall. Stop over-exaggerating, Nada. Might as well have been, Canada protested stubbornly. I'm the one who got hit with the fluffin' bottle, Nada. And even I say that you're being overdramatic, and it wasn't that bad. Plus, noses are relatively easy to break. They're actually the easiest fracture in the face. About 8 pounds of pressure, actually. How the fuck and why the fuck do you know that? Poland asked, honestly sounding a little impressed. I got bored and curious, so it's not the only thing I know that for. I actually know that for all other bones too, America responded quickly, seeming quite content that he had such a level of knowledge. My bestie being a nerdy knowledge sponge aside, let's start the game, Japan excitedly exclaimed. Since we're doing it the boring way, she started, pointedly giving Ukraine a pout. Everyone write your name on a little slip of paper, and I'll go get a box, Japan announced, getting up. Hey, airhead, we don't have paper, Italy interjected, sending Japan a pointed look, for which he had a sake bottle thrown at him. It hit him right between the eyes. Then gravity took its course and caused the bottle to also slam him in the nuts. His hands promptly flew down to cover the area, as though the damage hadn't already been done. The instinctive attempt to try and protect was ultimately futile. Though Japan came back with a small box and a sheet of paper she'd cut up after a few minutes. She chose to normally hand out the paper to everyone but her brother, who she almost slapped it into the hands of. "Why are you like this?" Italy whined, still attempting to recover from the sake bottle to the crotch. Japan didn't respond, just plopping herself down next to her girlfriend with a little humph. America silently wrote his name on the slip of paper, like everyone else, before slipping into the box. He was one of the first to put his name in the box, being followed quickly by Russia, Canada, Ukraine, and China. After everyone's name was in the box, Japan took the box, held it closed while she shook it, like it owed her money or had offended her. Neither would be out of place if America was entirely honest. How it could owe her money, he didn't know, but the fact that it was too small for her to sit in was probably offensive to her sensibilities. "America!" Japan announced after opening the box. America felt himself get hit with a bit of dread. It was bound to be awkward, no matter who he got locked in with. Well, maybe not if he got locked in there with his brother, but he doubted that fate liked him nearly enough for that. "And Russia," Japan chirped. Fate did not like him. There were no questions about it, especially since he was going to be locked in a closet with his crush. That was bound to be awkward. They were friends, sure. Very close friends, actually, but neither of them really liked small spaces. "Which closet are we using?" Russia asked reluctantly, after a bit of a pause. Japan gestured to one of the hall closets. It was a bit too small for both America and Russia's preferences, but the closet, size-wise, was probably closer to middle-sized. The two of them would fit, and there was enough space to give them, at most, 3 feet between them. That was only if they chose to stick to the opposite sides of the closet. "Could we not?" America asked, as politely as he could. It's way too small of a space." "Agreed. It'd be preferable if we do not." Russia agreed, not liking how uncomfortable this would almost certainly make America. He didn't like the idea that much himself, but he could cope, especially since America is who he'd be stuck with. He wouldn't mind being stuck somewhere with America. He wasn't opposed, per his own comfort, but rather America's. He'd be more than happy to be in close proximity to America, like they had been when they had gone on a road trip. America had been sitting in between his legs, sometimes on his lap, and it was quite comfortable for him, though America had been tempting to cuddle the entire time. "Rules are rules," Japan chirped, hopping up and moving to push the two into the closet. America made an eep noise and attempted to dig his heels in so that he couldn't be dragged. It was a futile effort, as he ended up being put in a small, cramped closet with Russia. Once the closet door was closed, he couldn't really hear what was going on outside of it, which brought America curiosity. He moved his hand to trace against the walls of the small space, careful to not bump into Russia. "It's soundproofed in here," America murmured, if only to himself. "No wonder I could barely hear stuff out there when Japa shut the door." "Care to share with the class?" Russia jokingly asked, clearly not having been able to hear what America had said. "It's soundproofed," America stated confidently. "We can't hear them out there, but they also can't hear us." "Hope they don't forget about us then," Russia joked with a laugh. "What, do you not have your phone?" "Yeah, I left it in my bag." "Well, shoot, I left mine out there too. I'm sure they won't forget about us. If they do, then they'll probably end up wondering where your snarky butt is during breakfast." "Shut the fuck up, me," Russia grumbled half-heartedly, while dragging a hand down his face. "Or they'll notice you're missing ask for lemon put in coffee." efficiency over taste. I prefer having the energy to exist. Also, English is weird. The word you wanted was request. Shut! America giggled and hugged Russia before smiling at him. Regardless, I can't see shit. Are there any lights in here? Russia asked, blindly beginning to feel around for a light switch. Yes, let me get them, because, that's me. America stuttered out, quite flustered. Sorry. Russia backed up, ceasing his blind search for the lights. It wasn't long before there was light in the room, which hit Russia like a flashbang. It took a few minutes before Russia's eyes had readjusted to the light in a small area. America nervously looked around the closet, clearly a little uncomfortable. Russia gently pulled America close to him, pulling the two of them to the floor of the closet. He then started to massage America's shoulders in an attempt to comfort him. It didn't seem to help, so he pulled America onto his lap and continued to rub America's shoulders. Remember the road trip. Just pretend we're on it, Russia whispered into America's ear. Just close your eyes. America shrunk in on himself, pulling his legs to his chest. That clearly wasn't helping. Okay, how about distraction? How about never have I ever? Not really fair. It's just the two of us, America whimpered out, voice barely above a whisper. Two truths and they lie. We basically know everything about each other. Ghost? I don't know that one. Basically, one of us will start out by saying a letter, and then the other can continue by adding another. We will continue until it is word, in which case whoever aids that letter puts one finger down. Once one of us loses, we restart, Russia explained. Okay, America agreed, keeping his eyes sealed shut. All right, I'll start us off. O. S. All right, T. E. Bro, that is a word, pretty bird. Osteogenesis. Medical word for formation of bones, but I think it counts. America said quietly, momentarily opening his eyes before slamming them back shut. Yeah, it does, Russia agreed, putting down a finger. Okay, I think I get it. I'll start this round. S. All right, pretty bird. E. R. D again, Russia said with a laugh. N. D. I. B. I'm going with I again, America hummed. D. Why, I lose. I put a finger down, right? America asked, putting a finger down. Exactly, Russia said excitedly. I'll start this off this time. P. E, America responded with little hesitation. D. R. I. C. Are you sure about that one? Russia hummed out in a slightly furry tone. Yeah, it's petrichor. The descriptor of the smell of rain, America mumbled. All right, another loss for me then, Russia said with a laugh. If you're feeling better, we can figure out something else to do. Can we just stay like this? I'm comfortable, America murmured. Of course, Russia agreed, pulling America closer to himself. America let out a comfortable hum as he snuggled into Russia, turning himself around so he could bury his face into Russia's chest. He slowly settled himself and let himself rest. After a long while, America noticed something and opened his eyes as he looked up at Russia. Shit, sorry, don't worry about it. America tilted his head, moving back so he could look up at Russia and get a better read on him. When he did, he felt something rubbing against him. Russia was clearly biting his lip, as to not make any noise. Just ignore it. America just moved back to his previous position, resting his head on Russia's chest and snuggling up to him. Russia wrapped his arms around America and gently shifted him so that he wasn't feeling what he had before. There was a long period of silence before Russia opted to speak again. I love you, you know, more than a friend, Russia whispered, not entirely sure if he wanted to be heard by America, since this was something that could entirely ruin their relationship. You mean a lot to me. I love you too, Russ, America responded, not looking up, just allowing himself to relax. Russia felt a smile creep onto his face, opting to hold America closer. So, what does this make us? America asked after a long pause of comfortable silence. I know what I'm hoping for, but I won't push you. Whatever you wish us to be, I suppose, Russia responded, though he did hold America closer. I don't want to push you either, but I would like it if we start dating. We don't have to, but I would just like that. Again, we don't have to, America muttered, quite flustered. He couldn't help but constantly reinforce that he just liked that. That it was just a preference, not a requirement. Calm down, cutie. I'd like that too. Don't get yourself all worked up, Russia reassured with a small laugh. So, you're my boyfriend now. I like the sound of that. America flushed and let out a little huff, nuzzling his face into Russia's chest. You're such a pretty bird, Russia hummed in a heavily flirtatious tone, lightly tracing a finger across America's soft cheek. America's instinctual response was a happy chirp that was quickly followed by clear embarrassment. Russia laughed a little at that and smiled, getting comfortable again. They sat in silence for a long while, before Russia decided to see if America was up for a little revenge on Japan for locking them in there, and maybe get a little pleasure out of it as well. America, would you be up for a little revenge? Russia asked, his tone hinting at sexual innuendo. It depends on what you mean? America mumbled, quite flustered. But we've been in here for a while, probably over an hour now. I'd like to be intimate with you, if you will allow me, Russia said, running a hand over America's clothed form. They could check on us at any time, America squeaked out the warning. We're supposed to be playing 7 Minutes in Heaven. Plus, as you've said, we've been in here for an hour, Russia said, letting out a laugh as he reminded his now boyfriend of how long they had been in the closet. However, we can start slow if you're down. I suppose we can. I'm just nervous. If you don't want to, we won't, Russia assured firmly. You can tell me to quit and I will. I'm okay with it. Let's just not get caught, America nervously agreed. Russia laughed a little and gently pulled America into a kiss. He lightly rolled the fabric of America's shirt in between his fingers, as though toying with the idea of what to do with it. Russia pulled away from the kiss, letting out a little pant. Russia, America whispered out, the way Russia's name slipped out of his mouth nearly intoxicating to the man in question. We're not even started, darling, Russia whispered, slipping a hand up America's shirt to get a good idea of his partner's body shape. though he did have a pretty good idea of it already due to middle and high school. And you're already breathless. Shut up, America panted out, very much not beating that particular statement. He was active, so it was a little funny that a little kissing stole his breath away.
It's not a bad thing. It just gives me a little preview. Russia purred, tugging up America's shirt a little. Now, let's get this pesky thing off.
America flushed but complied, helping Russia take off his shirt.
Oh, you're still fucking hot. God, I wish you'd shown off your freckles in high school.
Russia muttered, lightly tapping a few of the freckles on America's torso. America grabbed his shirt and used it to hide his flustered and embarrassed face. Russia gently pried it away and threw it behind America, lightly kissing him to distract him from trying to get it again. After that, he started to kiss America's neck, waiting before grazing his teeth against America's neck. No visible marks. No visible ones, at least. America cut himself off with a moan when Russia pushed him onto the floor of the closet and started to suck on one of America's nipples. Russia pulled away and lightly started sucking on America's shoulder. That was certainly going to leave a hickey, but Russia seemed to have no reservations, continuing on to do this anywhere America seemed willing to let him get away with. Shoulders, collarbone, and all over his chest. Russia heavily enjoyed every noise America made, lightly grabbing America's hand when he went to cover his mouth. "You have anything on you?" Russia asked, hoping America might have some lube. "No. I didn't think I would get here, so I do not either," Russia admitted with a laugh. "I have Vaseline. My lips get chapped. From what I know, it works better than nothing." "I can work with that," Russia stated, kissing America again while he slipped a hand in America's pocket to search for it. "Hate to ruin it, though." Once Russia had it, he set it down beside them before he started to slip off America's pants. "It won't be ruined. The container's almost empty anyway," he mumbled. "All right, if you say so," Russia said as he fully removed America's pants. "Absolutely unfair. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be the only one unclothed." "Patience. We'll give you a chance to look in a bit. Just want to explore you for a bit." America let out a little huff, but gasped when Russia pulled off his underwear. "Already a little hard. Cute," Russia chuckled, moving a hand down and giving America's member a couple of strokes before getting some Vaseline on his fingers to start fingering America. He kissed America and started to prepare him, using his fingers to stretch out America, scissoring him and carefully moving his fingers. Once he was happy enough with his preparation, he pulled out his fingers and took off his shirt. He didn't miss how America started to stare. "Like what you see?" Russia teased as he started to take off his sweatpants. He had no shame at the moment, entirely fine with America seeing how hard he was. "Think you're ready, or do you want to stare some more?" I think I'm ready," America nervously agreed, flushing more as he watched Russia pull off the underwear. You sure you'll fit? It'll be my first time." "Always will, but we can take however long you'll need." Russia used the last of the Vaseline to lube up his quite large member before carefully lining up with America's entrance. America let out a whimper when Russia had gotten tip in. Stop, it hurts." Russia quickly started to pull back, entirely okay with stopping right there and then. "No, not stop entirely, just let me adjust," America managed, lightly grabbing Russia's hips. All right, I got it, love," Russia reassured, kissing America's cheek just as he started to wait for him to adjust. Once America seemed ready, he started to thrust in further. It was a slow process. Eventually, America was sufficiently adjusted to Russia's size. Russia slowly started pulling out a bit and thrusting back in. America wasn't fully adjusted, but he wasn't in the same amount of pain he'd been in before. After a bit, America started to enjoy himself, letting out quiet little moans and attempting to shift his hips against Russia. Russia took that as a sign that America wanted him to move faster, but he decided he should take it slow, especially since he wanted to hear America make some noise. He slowly pulled out and thrusted back in, lightly kissing America's neck. Russia, please. America whimpered, shifting his hips a little more. What do you want me to do, darling? Russia purred as he continued at the same pace, slow enough to make his partner want more, but not enough to tip off that he knew, even though he was sure America knew and was frustrated. Move faster, America panted out, shifting his hips desperately. Only because you asked nicely, Russia teased as he started to speed up a bit. America started to let out little moans, being a little bit louder. Russia's name slipped out of his lips, and he felt Russia speed up a little. He couldn't help it when it happened again and again, to the same response each time. Russia hit his prostate, and America let out a louder moan. He gripped onto Russia, digging his nails into his boyfriend's back. Russia didn't seem to care. Hell, it seemed to encourage him. He was moving faster and aiming at that particular spot, trying to hit that particular bundle of nerves. It caused a slight tense in America's body, something that was pleasing. Russia felt a knot forming in his stomach. He knew he was on the brink, and with how antsy America seemed to be getting, he could tell his boyfriend was as well. He didn't make it much longer before he came inside his boyfriend, burying his face in America's neck as he moaned out his name. He felt America twitching a little under him, and he could tell that he'd come as well. How was that? He whispered into America's ear. Really good. God, I don't have anything to compare, but I don't think it could have been better, America muttered, panting as he felt Russia pull out. Russia collected some tissues from the pockets of one of the coats, using them to clean them both up. They could clean up better later, but this would have to do for now. Once they were as clean as they could get, Russia helped America get back into his clothes before doing the same. He laughed when America decided it was nighttime and that the lights were to be off, so at least one of them could sleep. Russia fell asleep quite easily after that. He'd managed to get his new boyfriend into his arms, his boyfriend who couldn't sleep without forcing it. He was awoken by his boyfriend trying to escape his arms, which he wasn't happy about. No, sleep, he mumbled, still half asleep. Well, I can't. Plus, guess who's letting us out? Don't care. Stay still with me, my little mate, Russia muttered tiredly, burying his face into America's neck tiredly. Listen here, mister, America started after a flustered moment of silence. You don't get to call me that until you've courted me. Now, come on. Stop letting us out. I want to get my melatonin so we can go to bed. Russia whined, but got up and let America go. Soon enough, he was being dragged to a different room and led to a far more comfortable sleeping place. Good night, Russia, America muttered as he buried his face in his boyfriend's chest. Night, America, Russia responded, melting back into sleep easily. And that's the end of this one-shot. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow.